Hey, it's Topher right here, Geek Public Radio. How you guys doing? I'm hanging out with Chris like normal. We're going to be talking about Steve Jobs is being back in the news for, I think, being an asshole. Bethesda's Matt Booty saying that there is no crunch, and Stranger Things launched today. So follow that and a whole lot more right here.
You're listening to the GPR podcast, where two old guys, hey, talk about new games. You're listening to the GPR new games, movies, most things geeky, and generally be old in front of your eyes. Not cool. Now, here's Topher and Crazy Chris being all old.
Yes. Being all old. We had a glitch
in the Matrix.
In our, I've been watching a bunch of those videos.
They're fun.
We have a live play out on our switcher, so like it shows me what the screen is. Well, it froze, so I hit a button and it restarted.
Switches to me, and I was like, what's going on?
Like, that's not what
not what we're trying to do.
All right.
How was your week, bub? Yeah, it was pretty much like exactly what just happened. Like that's pretty much been the entirety of your week.
We got nuked off the planet.
Yeah, that was cool. Spreaker is an absolutely terrible company. We'll get more into that later. Spreaker's terrible. We got Booty in the news, right? And they can't pass the opportunity to talk about Booty. We have Stranger Things Volume 2, Steve Jobs getting stuff somehow and still. New games on the horizon. There's all kinds of crazy things that we're going to talk about. I'm Crazy Chris. I hope you guys are having a good time out there in Geekland. Joining me, of course, is Topher, the paranormal hobo. Before we get started with the video, everybody, make sure that you click like and subscribe. Smash the crap out of that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Help us to grow. We have been accelerating rapidly, and it's all thanks to you guys out there. So we are always grateful and appreciative of the things that you guys do to help us continue to accelerate the growth of our channel. Now, that being stated, the other thing we need you guys to do is if you're watching this for the very first time, and hang around for a few minutes. Just give us 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes of your time. It's really all we're asking you to do. That actually helps us to increase our view counter, which helps defeat the evil algorithm bosses at YouTube. So if you're a video gamer like us, you know that taking down the boss is of the highest priority. And there is nothing more wicked and despicable than the evil overlords at YouTube. So help us destroy the algorithms by sticking around watching this video. Help us to grow, get splashed all over that front page, take down all of the other stuff there. I'm just kidding, YouTube. You know I love you. Please don't nuke our channel again.
There's a running theme.
There's a running theme. Like we start to get a little bit of momentum, and then they're like, "Hey, flick, bye." But yes, you guys have helped us grow. We really do appreciate that. Check out our website as well, geekpublicradio.com. You can find some reviews, content, and things like that that we do on that channel. So if you are joining us for the first time, welcome. And for all of our returning listeners, we thank each and every single one of you. You can find us anywhere you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, other places. I can't think of words. iHeartRadio. That's what I was looking for. And that is brain does brain things. But we have picked up a new sponsor as well. So before we get into the meat of our show, I just want to let you guys know that this particular episode is brought to you by ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN, is the world's largest VPN service provider. Founded in 2009, ExpressVPN has over 3,000 servers in 160 locations in 94 countries. It's known for a huge range of VPN apps, compatibility with all devices, high speeds, and greater customer service. With 3,000 servers in 160 VPN server locations in 94 countries, they have an easy-to-use app for Windows, Mac, Android, iOS, as well as other platforms that other VPN companies do not support, like Linux, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, routers, browsers, extensions for Chrome, Firefox, and Edge. I know I'm throwing a million things out there for you guys right now. The only provider that unblocks streaming services not just on your VPN, but also use the media streamer on other devices like Apple TV, PlayStation, Xbox, and smart TVs that cannot run a VPN. You can access content anywhere free of geo restrictions. You click the little link, you can drop down, change your country of origin, access new shows on Disney Plus, Hulu, and more. Reliable services in high censorship places like China, the Middle East, and things like that. English isn't your first language. They have 16 languages to choose from, supported on Windows, Mac, Android, all the other things I've mentioned before. You can find 3 free months at expressvpn.com. vpn.com/Geek Public Radio. Unconditional 30-day money back guarantee. 5 connections going at the same time. 24/7 customer support through live chat. Blazing fast speeds. The industry's most advanced VPN server technology. Next-gen lightweight protocol. And the official VPN partner of HP Dynabook, which is formerly Toshiba. And LastPass. Sweet God, we've got to cut that down. That is a lot of words that I try to crank out in 56 seconds. I almost got there. I was close. Oh my God. But yeah, I've been telling people for years to use ExpressVPN. They're an absolutely excellent company. And just so you guys know, you think you're safe in Chrome and your incognito mode, that is where you would be wrong, friend. Your internet provider can still track every single thing that you do. And hopefully you're not doing anything immoral or illegal. But if you just want to browse the web in relative safety and use your credit cards without being tracked or monitored, or Facebook picking up your particular search habits, I saw what you Googled. I don't Google that anymore. Stop Googling that. I know it's harmless, okay? But the FBI does not see it that way. But with ExpressVPN, you can hide things like that. So make sure you check them out again. ExpressVPN.com/Geek Public Radio for 3 free months and a 30-day guarantee. Thanks to them, and thanks to all of you for laboring through that with me. I greatly appreciate it. Let's get right into it, guys. I have been waiting to make this particular announcement for so long. The booty has been talking. The booty has spoken, and the booty is not happy with the crunch at Bethesda and ZeniMax. Particularly, I know I'm making the jokes, guys, but in particular, I have no idea why this is not functioning correctly. Hang on just a second. What is happening to my articles that are no longer popping up? Why? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Hold on. There we go. Jiminy Christmas. I had it all pulled up. I had everything outlined exactly and appropriately the way that it was supposed to be. And of course, my phone's like, nah, just going to take you to a random web page and not let you go back. Anyways, Xbox game boss Matt Booty. His name is Matt Booty. Guys, I can't make it up. I know I'm a 5-year-old. I have a joke. Jabooty has claimed that Bethesda does not have a crunch culture any longer, that it is simply a media practice that was, or an industry practice that is prevalent decades ago. I say to that, and I'm sure all of you do too, bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. 100%.
Well, the fact that if you want to talk about the crunch culture, literally that whole concept was developed by Japanese game designers,
right?
Game design studios.
Yeah, Nintendo employees used to spend nights underneath their desk, and most of them, according to even Matt Booty, have stated that they would wear this. This is an interview with Kotaku, and that he stated that this would used to be a badge of honor amongst game developers and things like that. Well, of course, working conditions have changed. People don't need to slave away like they used to. We can still have high quality content without having those particular things done. Or get it right the first time. Or stuff like that.
Well, no. Here's the thing: is they started to scale back on that, and look at the quality of the games that we have been getting.
You're not on camera, by the way. Just let you know.
I can't tell. I'm still.
I know it's fine. Also, though, I do want to point this out immediately. According to that interview with Kotaku, Matt Booty went on a Q&A call, a very specific booty call. Just so everybody's aware, there was a booty call made at Bethesda and ZeniMax, in which he addressed concerns by employees who are still under the impression that a crunch culture is happening. He reassured them that they have had conversations with the president and heads of ZeniMax and Bethesda. ZeniMax, by the way, ZeniMax Media is the parent company of Bethesda. For anybody who doesn't actually know that, Bethesda is not its own company. It's owned by a parent. It has a parent company called ZeniMax. And
that is now owned by Microsoft.
Right, which is now owned by Microsoft, right? So all of these concerns were, it seems to be adamantly brushed away by Matt Booty. They don't seem to be taken very seriously. I guess the good news is, was it Ravenloft? Was that the one that organized and did the union? Raven Software, yeah. Ravenloft was the name of a D&D adventure campaign expansion. Anyways, but they were told that they would honor that union. So they were actually told that they were not going to disband them, that they were going to honor their union, which in my opinion, is just honestly going to open it up across the board. And
Well,
I
that's
would
what I
not
told-
be
that's
would
what I
not be
said.
surprised to see
That's-
Bethesda employees doing it. So.
That's what I said when Microsoft was doing a thing. Like, oh well, now they're unionizing. It's like, well, either one, they're not going to care,
Oh yeah.
or two, it's going to bite the deal in the butt.
Oh, 100%. According to this, Booty reportedly claimed that crunch culture was, quote, just part of the industry, adding, I don't say that to justify it. I'm just saying it was part of the culture of the industry. I literally slept under my desk early in my career, and we looked at that like a badge of honor, end quote.
Yes, because they were actually
But now he
putting
says,
out good games.
but now he says those days are long gone in Xbox. I know from talking to Bethesda leadership that we do not have a situation where people are crunching and we've got this bullying atmosphere. I'm confident about that. Booty reportedly added that there was, of course, the possibility that crunch was going on without him knowing it.
We don't do that as far as I am.
As far as I'm like
As
quite
far as
literally
I'm
the most
aware.
passing the buck comment I've ever heard in my entire life. The Booty has passed the buck, not the other stuff. He urged employees to follow Xbox's internal process, including the ability to give anonymous feedback, and they say that they rely on that. Several employees have reached out to Kotaku and other media companies and have gone on record on Twitter and other places and said, that's awesome. He's basically saying, well, if it's happening, just tell us anonymously because we handle things when we're told, even though they're being told that it's happening and they're clearly not handling anything.
They're handling it.
Yeah, the Booty is handling everything. The Booty is in charge. Watch out, everybody. The Booty's going to make a call, and that's going to be the end of that.
It's Djibouti.
Listen, I will just point this out. The Booty is notorious for bullshit. All right.
Notorious
Specifically Matt Booty. Sorry, there are so many butt jokes in there. Like, I can't pass those up. If you guys have ever watched Sunday Night Madness, you will completely understand why I had to talk about this. And the second, I was going to talk about it anyway, but it was the second
that they said
Matt Booty, I was like, we're done. I've got this guy's name. Like, we're done. I can't let that go. And I mean, I'm not one to talk. I have a silly real life name too. Other people do as well. It's just a thing you have to deal with, and I get it.
I mean,
we're all adults.
If your name was Richard, then that would be really funny.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like perfectly acceptable to make fun of my name. I would not be mad. I would just be like, "Yep, that's my name. That's what I do." Derp, derp. I would embrace it, and hopefully, Booty has a good sense of humor. He's embraced his name as well. But the internet is undefeated, and I cannot wait.
Dirty Booty.
The Dirty Booty. I cannot wait for the Booty jokes to commence. I'm sure in subreddits and across 4chan, which pretty much a defunct platform at this point, but I'm sure across those platforms.
4chan still kicking. Just different boards.
Not a super big fan of 4chan.
Speaking of Reddit, thanks to a viewer, we now have a Reddit page.
Huh. Somebody made us a Reddit page?
Yeah.
That's hot.
Like me and that guy are the only people on it right now.
No, that's fine. I'll join it.
I'll
totally join the subreddit.
We haven't like literally not posted anything because it.
Like I think my Reddit username is like Life Yogurt. Something stupid like that. I was like, and I just haven't bothered to figure out how to change it. I've honestly adjusted no settings. I've not subscribed to any of the subreddits, like nothing.
See, I've
zero. Like, I think Nature is fucking lit. I think is the only one that I subscribe to because it's cool as hell.
Like I like PC Master Race, which it talks about like
PC
gaming, PC gaming culture.
Yeah,
and
you
all
would
that
do
stuff.
that because you're a jerk.
Battle stations where you take a picture of your rig and whatnot. Like,
listen,
like
why can't you just be an adult and use Reddit for what it's intended for, which is just hardcore prawn? It's 100% all that Reddit
I need
is for.
that button now. The internet is for porn.
It's for prawn. PRON. We can't say the other word because we get demonetized.
What is the subreddit? It is Geek Public Radio.
Yep. Geek Public Radio.
Sorry, I was answering.
It's r/Geek Public Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just, put the r/ in there. I mean, you can type in Geek Public Radio, something will come up. But if you type in r/, it'll take you directly to the page. Anything you look for in it, r/.
No,
there are exceptions. Some of them are like u/, but there's other stuff. But
that u is for the user.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to the user page.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So
there are exceptions to the searching. If you're looking for a person, it's you. slash, and then if you're looking because it's user and then
because I think
ours,
mine
Reddit.
is like u/
Whatever.
GPR Topher.
Like I said, mine's like life yogurt or something. It's so stupid. Like I honestly prawn. I use it for ridiculous things. Jassel's joining us in the chat. Hello, Jassel. Thank you. You guys can join us in the chat as well. Feel free to stop in, say hello, drop us a line. We will respond in time when we see your chats. We like to have that type of interaction with you guys, but if you have anything to say about booty, talking all that shit about the crunch culture, you guys make sure you drop a comment down below if you are on YouTube. So we do appreciate you guys being available for us.
I think she's throwing shade. She just said she just had a Smith's hot dog. You're like, you're out there.
I hope it tasted like
Matt
Booty. I hope you get a booty hot dog. But anyways, yeah, so I have worked crunch culture type jobs before. I have spent a long amount of time working on projects for companies and doing things like that. Like that's not unusual to me.
Well, no, it's not. I mean, literally, we have industries around here that have once a season, you're putting in large hours of overtime. You know that's coming up. You have your regular shift, and like, oh, okay, well, it's pack, so now we're putting in 12-hour days for the next 3 weeks.
Right.
6 days a week. My paychecks are going to be huge, but I'm not, like pack's coming, I'm not going to be able to do it.
Right. And that's just the thing too, is, when you reach a specific industry, and video games used to be like that. And I get not putting in like 30, 40, 50 hours of mandatory overtime for 3 or 4 months. I get that. Like that's exhausting. I understand. And it's not sustainable. You cannot. It is study after study after study after study has shown that when you put people through that, their efficiency just tanks.
2 things that need to happen. 1, no arbitrary dates. Like no arbitrary deadlines. The game will be done when it's done.
Right. And that's what's killing people.
Don't advertise the game until you
have a concrete completionist.
Like if you don't even talk about it until you're in alpha.
Right.
Because in alpha, then you can say, okay, based on what we're seeing in alpha, it's going to take another 6 to 8 months. Right. So let's give it a year.
Totally acceptable.
Date, and then
that's the thing.
Now
too.
we have a year,
and that's I believe that's what the industry is honestly starting to do. Nintendo has not released a lot of hard dates lately for some of their new stuff, their new projects that they're working on. They say it'll be available early. They'll say like first quarter 2022, our first quarter 2023, right. Second quarter 2024. Like, and that is acceptable. And that gives us a 3-month window. And if you have to delay it, don't wait until the freaking month it's supposed to come out to delay it. Just tell people we have to delay this release. It's not a big deal. Give people time.
Or like Blizzard, you're like, hey, we're not even in alpha yet, but we're going to have this game to you before December, or this expansion out before December 31st.
It's outrageous. Like you cannot. It's unsustainable to do things like that. No, and I agree. I think
we don't see, because people are data mining the launcher and like seeing what gets updated in the launcher, and all of that stuff, and like see what packets, and that's how they tell when things are hitting.
Well, I mean, industry leaks and internal leaks have always been a thing. Even now with the advent and increase in technology and the application of it, sure, we can get those more easily confirmed. We can see those things. I mean, like the leaked screenshots of Silent Hill, for instance, like we saw them. Now we know that 2 games are in development for Silent Hill, for some type of Silent Hill-esque game. We know that is a thing that's happening, right? So great. That's cool.
And we know that,
but we have no idea when it's coming out, and I'm okay with that. I just know it's being worked on.
And that Kojima actually kind of shot the rumors that we were hoping were
yeah.
Because he signed a deal with Microsoft.
Yeah, he's working on a game with them. So that does not mean that Kojima Studios could not possibly be working on a game just because he owns a video game company and he's working on his own. And because Silent Hill is an already established IP. All he said with Microsoft was that he's working on a new game. Silent Hill's not new. Right. That's all he said. And it's not an exclusivity deal with any of his other ideas. It's just for this game. So that's fine. The rumors are not dead. They're just unlikely, improbable even. But so yeah, that's something that I believe impacts the game industry pretty heavily. And honestly, if Bethesda had that type of culture, to be fair, that's probably why we were given games that were so glitchy.
Fair.
To be fair, that's probably why we were given games like Fallout 4 and Skyrim that were so buggy.
Like, I will just.
It's like they didn't try to fix it. It's honestly like just to get out of that culture, they just like washed over it so that way it just wouldn't be found.
Well, no, it's one of those things that it's a. Well, let's get this done and get it to our deadline. By the time it ships and people have access to it, we will have the day one patch.
Right.
That will fix all the stuff that we couldn't fix before we had to get.
I mean, the game's been out for what, a decade, and they still haven't patched all the bugs. Like, it's still a thing.
Well, it's no longer a bug; it's a feature.
It's not a bug; it's a feature. Jassel's over there. What'd she say?
Fallout 4 is the best.
Fallout 4 is amazing. I'm going to end up starting a new game on the PC for Fallout London. I'm going to do it. Like, I have Fallout 4. All I need to do is buy the mod. Those guys down there, man, they released a gameplay.
Now? I know they released.
No, it's 2023. Okay, so it is not ready yet, but it is really close, and they are very happy about it. They're doing an alpha release, I believe, in the fall to do some play testing, like some outside testers. It's gonna be select. Probably a lot of the Felon testers are gonna be there, and then I'm sure some of your bigger names will be out there play testing the game too, to figure out what's going on, making sure that there's no like game breaking bugs or anything.
Speaking of Fallout,
the Fallout TV show.
Yeah.
Talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Fallout TV show.
I'm trying to see. It's not going to be on a streaming service.
I believe it's Amazon.
Is it Amazon?
I'm 90% sure it's Amazon. I don't believe it's Apple TV.
Well, I mean, it could be Prime.
I love how just the silence takes over.
It was like as soon as we go silent, like all of the things in the room that makes noise.
You can just pick everything up at the same time. I'm trying to. Okay, my phone is just being the most uncooperative phone right now. Oh my gosh. What is the Fallout TV show? Okay, there we go. I said TV show.
Amazon.
It is Amazon. Okay. Yes, correct. They've got all the actors and stuff are being cast in, or not the actors, but you've got Kyle MacLachlan, Zelia Mendez-Jones, Aaron Moten. But yeah, it seems to be centered around these three individuals. I'm not exactly sure what's going to be done, but David Lynch will be working on it. MacLachlan rather worked with David Lynch in Twin Peaks, and then Dune.
I was watching, like, I was looking for more information on it, and then I found the old fan series, Nuka Break.
Nuka Break?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with Nuka Break. Like, you're going to have to give me more than
no,
Nuka
like
Break.
literally, it's got several seasons. Guy from it kind of plays up on it. You got the guy in the Vault 10 jumpsuit with Raider armor on top of it, whatever. You have a ghoul named Ben and Scarlet, and they're going around doing whatever. And like when it cuts to the main guy, the Vault Dweller guy, it literally illustrates what you look like when you're going through and talking to every single person that you come across looking for whatever. Because he's just like walking down and then going, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Hey, what's that?"
So you got like the NPC vibe. That's cool.
But
that's kind of why
Doug Jones played the mayor in like episode 2, 3, and 4.
I mean, it works.
That's pretty. You got like the king of characters. You know, Shape of the Water.
No, I'm familiar.
Yeah, you have him playing the mayor in a fan.
The fan service, a fan created.
Set in the desert.
Well, I'm always hesitant whenever my IP is turned into a TV show, especially now from Amazon, because Halo was Amazon, wasn't it?
No, Halo was Paramount.
Was Paramount. Okay. Well, I'm a little less hesitant now. Amazon, they gave us stuff like The Boys.
Yeah, but they also gave us stuff like you're going to think Sauron's hot.
Oh, because they're giving us the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I'm
apparently he's going to have a booty.
Good.
And
I like my wizards thick.
Well, he's an evil dark lord.
Don't care. Give me thick wizard. Give me thick wizard. You know what? Matt Booty wouldn't bitch about it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so speaking of TV shows, obviously we have a lot of things coming up down the pipeline. So if you guys want to check out Rutledge Productions, you can see some of the projects that we've been working on. Always a great fan and sponsor of the show. We thank them very, very much every single time they come through for us. They've been a sponsor since day one. We couldn't do half the things that we do without their support. So we thank you guys over there at Rutledge Productions. Go to rutledgeproductions.com if you would like to learn more about what they do and the projects they're involved in. We got somebody else in the chat saying hello. I can't read. It's too far away.
Date.
Hello, Date. I don't know what that is.
Hello. Big fan. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate you being in the chat. Big fan of yours as well. I love dates. But you know who's a bigger fan of dates? Matt Booty. Stranger Things Volume 2 released today. Much to the chagrin of fans of The Boys, who now have to make a decision whether they're going to binge the final 4 hours of Stranger Things or they're going to watch more episodes of The Boys season 3. So
how is that? How is that not like literally you just take the whole weekend? You're good.
Yeah, people have lives that are outside of
I don't have
streaming. We understand you are the world's greatest introvert because you're not allowed to go outside because you, like a proper nerd, are allergic to the planet. So you have to stay home, which is why we get the cool TV reviews and stuff from you because you have time to watch that stuff. I have time to play some video games.
Like literally, I found out, I was like, oh, Stranger Thing released today. And I was stuck in the middle of trying to piece back our distributor problem.
Oh, God. You want to talk about that before we get into Stranger Things? Because
right before we also talk about our other sponsor.
Humble Bundle. Yeah, let's absolutely talk about Humble Bundle because we're trying to package a whole bunch of details and stories together, which is actually exactly like Humble Bundle. They take all the greatest things and they smash them all together. But don't take my word for it. Take Cartoon Chris's word for it.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Humble Bundle sells games, ebook software, and other digital content. Its mission is to support charity while providing awesome content to customers at great prices. They launched in 2010 with a single 2-week Humble Indie Bundle and have grown into a store full of games and bundles, a gaming membership service, a game publisher, and more. Join them and pay what you want for curated bundles of games, media, and software. All proceeds support charity and the Electronic Frontier Foundation. Visit a link on the screen and in the description of the video to support the channel and help the cause.
Why does Cartoon You look so damn good?
He looks like 10 years younger, doesn't he?
He does.
Because that's the picture I used.
Oh. It all makes sense now. Every bit of it. I told him I was a little bit jealous. It's like, the Cartoon You looks like way better than me. I'm a little jealous about it. Mom always said I had a face for radio, and here I am doing a podcast on YouTube. So take that.
I have a face for radio and a voice for silent movies.
Speaking of sponsors, by the way,
we want you.
This is day number 450.
450,000.
Rip It. If you're listening to me, you know what? I'm just going to take this particular clip and I'm going to @Rip It on Twitter and tell them that I want them to sponsor this show. Rip It, fuel, brain fuel, body fuel, fuel for you, fuel for me. Get your fuel. F-bomb. I love Rip It.
No, now the next thing I guess would be for us to get like G Fuel or
yeah. And you know what? I'll tell you what. Now
we're
Rip
hitting
It.
the trifecta.
Yeah, I say if G Fuel sponsors this show before you do, I will be pissed. I will be so angry.
No, like we're hitting the trifecta because we finally been able to get with ExpressVPN.
Right.
Thank you guys for
appreciate everybody out there. Thank you.
Humble Bundle. We're working on several others that are the mainstays. And we're not above taking that Raid Shadow Legends money.
Yeah, not at all.
You're out there.
So we got to get the ExpressVPN, Humble Bundle, and then Raid Shadow Legends, and we are at the trifecta. We are now like we've made it. It's game over. It's game over for all you bitches. We made it. Snap, snap. Speaking of Stranger Things,
right?
Like I said, Volume 2 dropped today. I have not had a chance to binge it at all.
Look, I got stuck.
You dealing with Spreaker. That's right. See, I told you we're going to circle back around to it. We just Jen Psaki'd this shit. So here we are talking about Spreaker. We have to tell you guys about this stuff because, like I said, in completely unrelated news, we might have a contender, new contender outside of Activision Blizzard for the Golden Dumpster Fire Award that we give out every single year. And I'll tell you right now, they are pushing their way up the ladder. And after today's incident, they are a strong contender.
So what happened was, like, we literally were doing the final paperwork for last week's show, the sponsor, Terrible Lies podcast. And I was hopping on to check our stats and whatnot for our audio podcast side of things. And because they raised a question like, hey, we're not seeing it, like our YouTube and all the other stuff is being, like we're seeing an impact on there, but we're not seeing anything on the audio side. So I went to check and we were deleted.
Yeah.
Like
we
didn't exist. And then so I messaged and said, hey, what's going on? I can't log in, yada yada yada. It's saying unable to do so and whatnot. So by the time I got clicked in and made everything whatever, they had completely deleted all of our stuff. It was a fresh account that didn't have anything on it and whatever. So like the entire week of dealing with that. And then today, if we finally get it to come back, I'm like, yay, cool, we have our stuff back. Then, they're like, oh, by the way, you are, it's time for your payment. We're going to go ahead and charge you for your payment. And instead of charging us for the monthly service like we normally do, which gets paid for by advertising and all of the other stuff, we got charged for the entire year all at once.
Yeah. So they
told me like, oh, there's nothing we can do about
there's
it.
No refunds for you. No soup for you.
And you can cancel, but it'll be good for the date, the date on the thing. And I was like, okay, well, you're either going to fix this or I'm just going to dispute the charge because I didn't authorize the charge, like multiple hundreds of dollars to go out
right
in one sitting. We're not that big yet.
We'll get there. I swear. We will get there at some point. I guess what made me the most angry is like it's difficult for me to handle some of this stuff like while I'm working, right? So you get stuck dealing with the majority of this crap. Whereas like when it happened on YouTube, like I was home thankfully, so it was a little bit easier for me to start doing some research and some homework and start adding YouTube. And I mean, kudos to them. Within an hour, I think that everything had come back.
Boom,
so I mean,
like we noticed it and it was like, holy crap.
We noticed them, we started tweeting them, and then all of a sudden, bing, bang, boom, done. Right. So
yeah,
they hooked us up.
An entire week of one message a day.
Right, which has happened before when they screwed one of our videos, and Spreaker did that too. But without me being able to do those things, like it's frustrating for me to have to deal with a company. Like I have a job outside of this job, right? And you work on other projects outside of this job. So having to take time out of the day, like that's just a frustrating process. And then to take the money on top of that, now screw you guys. Screw you. Like, period, the end. Like you already took our money, so we're gonna write it out. But I promise there will be repercussions for this. And one of those repercussions is every single time we're on this show, fuck Spreaker. I like that. I could be broke and you could offer me $1 million contract. Fuck Spreaker. Won't do it. Period. That's how I feel about it. The Golden Dumpster Award. There it is right there. You can have it.
Like
I might print 2 for you. And charge you $216 goddamn dollars to have it.
It is extremely, extremely frustrating.
In case you guys have not figured this out, this is not a family-friendly show. You know what? Matt Booty says fuck Spreaker.
You know, at this point, I would.
We're not angry. We're not angry at all.
If Microsoft decided to come around and say, "Hey, we're going to do a podcast distribution service through all of our stuff," like boom, done in a heartbeat.
Maybe.
They couldn't be worse.
No, not than Spreaker. Spreaker's literally the human filth waste receptacle that Matt Booty drops his Q&A calls in. Like that's 100% what they are. Lord Voldemort literally crawled out of the asshole of Spreaker. Like that's quite. I mean,
but so now we finally have. And what's funny is we've been doing this show. This show has existed since 2010.
Yes, and we have been using Spreaker since
2016.
Right. So for 6 years we have launched our show. We've done our lives, not every single time, but we have done our show, and then the show is immediately scheduled to upload to Spreaker. It is then viewed hundreds of thousands of times, and we appreciate all of our listeners very much. We thank you guys. But with that, not hundreds of thousands of times, I shouldn't say hundreds of. It's viewed hundreds and thousands of times. I'm sorry, I made it sound like we were way bigger than we are. We are not that big. Hundreds and thousands of times, and we appreciate that. That helps us to generate our ad revenue. So when Spreaker does that to us, it is very eerily similar to what YouTube did prior to us when we were trying to build back in the dark ages, and we were trying to get larger than we were. And when they take that from us, they take our platform, they take our stream distribution,
and they take the money that they owe us. Like all of that got deleted. So like all of our ad revenue that we had garnered through them up to this point was gone.
Right. And if you guys are doing like maintenance, or if you have to pull the account because of whatever, and you think it's a suspicious activity, something, freaking email somebody. Right. Just say, hey, this is what's happening.
It was like we were getting emails about the account.
About the account, but not about that.
Saying our regular, this is our listener thing. This is our
stats. It gave us our listener stats. Yeah.
And yada yada was like, oh, well, I wonder why we don't have any stats for this week.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a channel.
Right. And then to turn around and say, oh, you guys don't have an account. What? Screw you. I got a new member in the chat. What's going on? New member in the chat.
Baby R. Kelly.
Baby R. Kelly. Let's go.
My mind's telling me no, but my.
Oh my God.
Bubba is telling me yes.
Matt Booty. Matt Booty, welcome to the chat. All right, Baby R. Kelly, we appreciate you very much. By the way, I have a feeling I know exactly who it is. I'm just not going to out them on the chat. But let's just say there will be a conversation to be had when I get to where I'm going tonight. So it's fantastic. And if it's not them, this will just be like the most hilarious coincidence that's ever happened. But yeah.
Oh, hey, by the way,
I appreciate everybody in the chat. You guys are great. So yeah. Moral of that story is fuck Spreaker. I said it 5 times, I think, right? Yeah. I think that's how we get demonetized. I think it's like 5 swear words. I think it's that one. So that
fuck your couch.
Pretty much. Yep. There we go. If that wasn't 5, there he goes. There's 5 right there. So yeah, Stranger Things Volume 2, guys.
Finally back
to Stranger Things. The new episodes have released. I'm sure there are people out there that are probably watching instead of listening to the show. I don't blame you. It is big budget. It is Hollywood. And it is juicy and amazing, right? I haven't watched the new episodes yet. The way they left things at the tail end of Volume 1, there's a lot that they have to wrap up. A lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's 4 hours. Well, I know they're 2 hours. They're 2 hours a piece, I believe. Really? I think they're one's like 206, and I think the other one's like 157 or something like that. So they are literally both like at the 2 full motion picture mark, right? They are DC movie caliber. Like that's where they are.
Well, I mean, if you add them together, then they are
Lord of the Rings Volume 1 or Lord of the Rings.
Well, I was gonna say
Fellowship of the Ring.
I was gonna say the Snyder Cut.
I mean, even the Snyder Cut was like an hour. It was only 3.5 hours. So this would be like the extended special features edition of Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring. But the crux of it, I'm interested to see the directions that they take the show with the characters that they've developed. It felt really slow when it first started, and it very quickly picked up momentum. The big reveal at the end, I'm not going to drop that particular spoiler. We try to be as spoiler-free on the show as we possibly can. But the big reveal, I called it kind of early. that's the problem with some Hollywood. It doesn't make the story bad, by the way, just because you can call it or you see
What's
where the
funny is
direction the
that I
story
don't
goes.
really even need to see that as Hollywood. It's purely its own, because you have like Bollywood and Tollywood movies.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
streaming is different. I get
Like
that.
this is purely a Netflix because it hits all of the things Netflix does on their series.
Yeah.
It starts out slow. You get to the third or fourth episode, things get really, really hectic.
Spicy.
And then that's when, because you get to the third episode, everything hooks you.
Yeah.
Everything lands. You're fucking on the ride.
Yeah, 100%. And it always makes for an interesting show. And I'm looking forward to seeing the conclusion of all this. But I think what's really funny is they haven't even brought all of the characters together yet. Like each group seems to believe that they are responsible for saving the world. Like,
well, of course,
like, and that's
what they did in the past.
But what's funny about that is like this is a not coordinated effort by them. It's just each of them is a hero. Like that's actually how they're parsing this together, which I like. Is you have the California group, you have the Russia group, you have the can't think of the name of the town that they.
I'm still trying to figure out how they're going to get back from Russia.
I'm assuming a portal, right? There have been many instances of portals being opened, so that's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing that a portal will open to the Upside Down, which will allow them to come back.
But isn't the Upside Down like the exact same distance away? So I mean,
magic, bro. Like, are we really splitting hairs about demonic entities creating alternative universes? Like, really? I mean, that's like people saying in Star Wars, like, oh, there's no explosions in Star Wars because there's a vacuum in space. Like, we have laser swords and starships. Like, and you're honest to God having a science fit about this. What? Because it's not boring ass Star Trek where they sit around, lock phasers, and they sit in place for 40 freaking minutes and shoot each other. It's literally capital ship mirages, which are like the most boring thing on the planet to me. They're boring. I can't stand them. They're awful. The coolest example of it was when they went into, was it Star Trek 2? We're at the con, and they was like, oh, well, according to my observations, it appears Khan only likes to think in 2 dimensions. And they went above him. And I was like, oh my God, somebody use strategy. Like, it's stupid.
I don't know.
It's great. It's great with science, and the stories are cool. I'm not knocking it.
I like my sci-fi a little bit harder science,
which is fine. I like my fantasy space opera. Thank you.
No, I like the fantasy space opera, the space western.
I hate Disney, but I love my fantasy space opera.
But I also like stuff like The Expanse.
Yeah, sure.
Which is like hard. Like everything they do is
sure. All of those things are totally understandable, and I get that. Everybody's got their niche. Everybody's got what they like, and I hate the debates. Oh, Star Wars is better. Oh, Star Trek is better because it's science. Oh, well, but Star Wars has the Force. It's the most useless debate on the planet because they are completely iconic in their own separate ways.
Right.
And to try to debate an opinion,
of people who like them both,
and I do. I like Star Trek. I just hate their starship battles because it's the most boring thing on the planet.
Steroids. It's
boring. They're like, set fire, black photon torpedoes. And then you see this for 5 minutes. They shake around in the ship, and it's like, oh, look, red shirt died. Weird.
I like how they switched that up, though. Like,
yeah.
Like, oh, now command has where's the red?
Where's the red shirts? Yeah.
So it's now the yellow shirts that are out.
Right. And the yellow shirts are usually with the engineers, Security. Right? Security. That's it. The engineers are blue. Doctors or med staff is blue. What is the yellow?
Yellow is the security. The gold.
Yellow security, rather. What are the engineers?
And I think engineers
are engineers gold too. Okay,
I think so.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'm having a hard time because like I'm now kicking into the mode of the other one that came out. Seth MacFarlane's.
Oh, Orville.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. Oiville.
Oiville. But so Stranger Things Volume 2, just the whole tangent was literally just about if you have a fandom, try not to get too wrapped up in the finer details about stuff. Just enjoy the story for what it is. Is it a plot hole you could drive a bus through? Probably. Is it going to be casually explained away? Also, probably. Are you going to watch it anyway? Yeah, you are. All right, so
No, like I'm going to be done before the end of the day, before tomorrow.
I know. As soon as I leave here and head back, you're just going to be like, oh, watch Stranger Things.
Like while I'm working on all the other stuff,
Yeah,
it's going
to be up on the big TV right in front of you. Yeah, because you've got the 74 monitor hook up.
No, I need another video card so I can add another 4 monitors.
Right. Last thing,
be in a shell of monitors.
Last thing I want to talk about before we take off, before we go for the evening, in posthumous award that was awarded to
an asshole.
I hate this man. I do. I've always hated him. I don't like how he passed. I think that's awful, for his family, everything like that. Like never wanted that to happen.
Right.
So just understand that I know the history of this particular person. I know what he did. I know what he was about. He was not a good person to me.
No, he was not a good person.
Steve Jobs was just recently nominated and will receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Joe Biden. Joe Biden nominated, I believe it said 17 people, and he was, in fact, one of them, obviously getting the award since he has passed posthumously.
Like, what did he do other than ship all the manufacturing over to China?
Well, so some brief history. Jobs co-founded. This is an important distinction. Apple in 1975, developing
Wozniak
some of the first,
too.
right? And that's who I think should actually get it. Wozniak, the one who quite literally made it to where Apple stayed alive. But the White House says in a statement, his vision, imagination, and creativity.
He was a salesman. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, right. Led to inventions that have and continue to change the way the world communicates, as well as transforming computer, music, film, and wireless industries. He will receive the award. Oh, I think he actually already has received this coming Thursday. Okay. Sorry, it said he would receive it Thursday, and I was like, wait a minute, what's the date of this article that I just freaking found? I was like, I'm pretty sure this is new. But that's according to CNBC. And there's a uselessness to the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I mean, it's cool if you get it. Good for you. It's good for your family, to be quite honest, because I do believe you get a free college education out of it. Like I do believe that it's a sponsored education.
Yeah, I think we deserve it.
Good for them. But at the same time, Steve Jobs is a multi-billionaire. Like he was his wife is still a billionaire. Like there's nothing like.
I mean, like
why do they need that?
This is a guy who would just sit in his office and completely like.
It shouldn't be called the Presidential Medal of Freedom. By the way, they should just honestly just call it the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. Just call it that.
Yeah.
Because the Presidential Medal of Freedom makes you sound like a war hero. And other than theft of IP, I'm not really sure what he commenced in war.
Well, not like literally. All he did is like, hey, I like your idea.
Steve Jobs isn't any better, by the way, so don't think that I'm just like a huge Windows fan and I hate Apple. I hate Apple, but Windows is no better.
Yeah, Gates is
a thief.
Gates was doing all that stuff and heavily in Mac, like invested in Mac and whatnot as well. So
and we run the PC product because that is what is available to run.
Yeah,
and
we don't have the $6,000
to run a rig for Apple.
Right.
Like it just is not the way it works.
I'm too busy over here going, I wonder if I can cobble together a new server.
Right. These the vain imaginations of a madman. Like quite literally, I want to write a book about your brain and how it operates. But yeah, so for anybody who might be curious about that, you guys can read about those stories. If you have any comments about the stuff that we've talked about on the show, absolutely go down into the comment section, both on Twitter, both on YouTube and on Twitch. Make sure you check us out on twitch.tv. Subscribe over there as well, twitch.tv/Geek Public Radio, and of course, youtube.com/Geek Public Radio. All of our socials are above here. Hang on. There we go. Above here and down below if you guys would like to follow us on our socials as well. Great show. We talked about a lot of different things. Matt Booty seemed to occupy a lot of that, but I think it's because the booty news was so big that we had to just dissect and really dig into the booty. I think that was something.
I mean, there's a crack in the story somewhere.
There is, and I feel like the seepage of the news was pretty real. So
On
And
that note,
insert
if you like-
booty joke here.
if you like the show, whatever, and want to help us out, just think we have partnered with T-Shirt Max, and we have our merchandise stuff up there, and we have all sorts of stuff. But don't take my word for it.
Take Cartoon Topher's word for it.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Need your fix for fun shirts and things? The perfect place to get geeky fun t-shirts and other merchandise, including tumblers, baseball caps, and so much more, is tshirtmix.com. Hundreds of designs you can choose from, as well as being the home of Geek Public Radio merch store. Come get our faces on your threads, or just grab one of the several funny designs that we have available. Just go to tshirtmix.com and check out all the fun. More designs are added daily. That's tshirtmix.com for all your novelty tees. Have fun, look around, and grab some awesome t-shirts.
All right. we were developing new merch ideas while the commercial was playing. We were deviously plotting and planning. I've been crazy, Chris. You guys have been a fantastic audience. As always, guys, smash the shit out of that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share this with all your friends. That is how we will together take down the bosses of the evil YouTube overlords that deign and reign over our channel and prohibit us from doing all the fun, stupid stuff that we want to do. Actually, like to be quite honest, we pretty much fall within the strictures of the rule set for the most part. So
Right.
we don't really say anything too outrageous. But yeah, share us with your friends. We are not family friendly, so don't let your 10-year-old watch it. I will not be responsible for them growing up like me, and I will not hear comments to the contrary. I have children of my own, and I already have to deal with that. So I am not dealing with your kids as well. All right. Yeah, thank you guys again. I'm Crazy Chris.
I am Topher.
You guys have a fantastic evening. Peace.
You've been listening to the GPR podcast, where two old guys talk about old. Talk about new games, movies, most things geeky, and try not to poop in their diapers while they're talking. Thanks for listening to the show. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on Twitter at Free Geek Radio, on Facebook and Instagram at Geek Public Radio, and the website geekpublicradio.com. We'll see you next time.